CEO's psycho childhood friend tried to destroy my life because he loves me. Now she's paralyzed from her own murder attempt. I'm Serena, and I need you to understand something right now. I'm not some gold digger who went after a rich man. I spent 2 months actively hating my boss, and another month trying to quit before he convinced me to stay. The woman who tried to destroy my life wasn't just some jealous ex either. She was someone who'd been circling him since they were 7 years old, and thought 20 years of proximity meant she owned him. But let me start with the day I met my boss because that disaster pretty much set the tone for everything that came after. I was already running 20 minutes late for my first day when I slammed into the back of a black Mercedes at the red light. The car shook and my coffee exploded everywhere, turning my only clean blazer into a brown disaster. The man stepped out of the car and everything about him screamed money, from his perfect hair that somehow didn't move in the wind to his suit that probably cost more than I made in 3 months. He walked around his car taking photos with his phone while I stood there frantically apologizing. He never said a word, just kept photographing every angle. Look, I know this is my fault, but could you please just let me give you my information so I can get to work? I finally snapped. Some of us actually need our jobs to survive. The police will be here in 12 minutes, he said in this flat voice. The words came out of me like vomit. Are you kidding me right now? I said I'm sorry like 50 times and I have insurance, so what's your problem? He looked at me then with these dark eyes that had zero emotion in them and said, the damage exceeds $4,000, which requires legal documentation. I just rolled my eyes at the stubbornness. By the time the police finished, I was 45 minutes late. I ran through the lobby and threw myself into the elevator, praying Janet from HR would understand. But the receptionist told me, Mr. Warner will see you now, which made no sense. She led me up to the top floor where the CEO worked, and there behind the desk sat the man from the Mercedes. My brain just stopped working for a second because what were the chances that the random rich asshole I'd crashed into was actually the CEO of this company? He didn't even look up from his computer when he said, "You're 45 minutes late. That's unacceptable. Because you insisted on waiting for the police." The words flew out before I could stop them, and I immediately wanted to die because I just yelled at him twice in one morning, and you just yelled at your potential employer. Again. Now he looked at me with those same dark, emotionless eyes from earlier. Most people grovel. Why aren't you groveling? Because I'm already having the worst day possible and I need this job too much to pretend I'm not pissed. At this point, I figured I was already screwed, so why fake it? Good. I need an assistant with a spine. The last 3 cried. You start now. I stood there trying to process what just happened. I'm sorry, what? You're hiring me? After I crashed into your car and yelled at you? Did I stutter? He went back to his computer like the conversation was over. Don't you want to see my resume or ask about my experience or literally anything normal bosses do? He looked at me again, and I swear there was something almost amused in his expression. You were 10 minutes early before the accident. You didn't make excuses. You told me exactly what you thought of me without flinching. That's more useful than whatever's on your resume. This is insane. Your desk is outside. My calendar needs reorganizing and I have a meeting in 20 minutes. Figure it out. I turned to leave, then stopped.